My living room is a space that is very comforting to me. It is very small and compact, but I think I made a great use of the space. One of my favorite aspects is this built-in sectional sofa. It's super deep, it's super cozy. I literally could take naps on it all day long if I had time to do that. And one of my favorite aspects is the drawer underneath to hide all of Rocco's toys. Every area in the sofa has storage, and it's just such a great way for me to relax and lounge after a long day. This chandelier is actually a more recent purchase. It looks very vintage and antique, but it is a new purchase, and I just love the playfulness of it. It just adds extra character to the space. This is the original fireplace of the home. My home is over 100 years old, so it was really important to me to keep the true integrity of the house. I love the color and tones of the wood. I love the ornate features, and that's actually what partly inspired a lot of the paneling in the home and some of the ornate details that I put throughout the house. I had this custom black metal fire log holder made, and I just love the contrast of the contemporary metal next to the really traditional old fireplace. To open up both rooms, I added a glass mullion window pane on either side of this opening, and we also extended this and pushed it a little bit just to create more movement throughout the space. But I did want to make sure that I kept two separate spaces so that the living room felt really cozy and the dining room felt grand and like a separate, more formal area. One of the first areas of my home that I renovated was the main floor living and dining room. Something that was really important was to open up the space. So this used to have a wall and it felt really cramped and closed in here. So we tore down this wall, and I had slats kind of dividing the stairs and acting as a handrail in the space. And much like in the kitchen, I also exposed the brick on this wall to add character and warmth throughout the space. Adding a mirror, a patina mirror actually, on this wall opens up the space and bounces light from the front of the home into this dining room that used to feel really dark and crowded. So it's one of my favorite features in the room as well. It has a patina antique effect to kind of coincide with the antique looking paneling. This chandelier is really beautiful and it's meaningful because it was the first gift that my parents ever gave me when I moved into my new home. And this candelabra as well, that was actually my grandmother's candelabra. It was a wall light originally, and she used to own an antique shop, so it's just one of those really sentimental pieces that creates an additional aspect of character to my home. Welcome to the most used room in my house, my kitchen. Before the renovation, this space was really tight, super dark, and felt beyond cluttered. So the number one thing that was important to me in this space was to declutter everything and create an open and airy, again, vibe in my entire house, which is consistent for the rest of the house. In regards to the cabinets, I knew I wanted a white oak, but I wanted something that felt timeless and wasn't too trendy, and the very light white oak is a big trend right now. So I went for something a little more medium toned, and I did white upper cabinets to open up the space. The glossiness reflects light as well, and it kind of hides the fact that I have so many upper cabinets as well. The little details in this kitchen were really important to me. Adding little things like bochi plugs was a really cool way to create something different that you don't typically see in a kitchen, and plugs are something that you kind of want to hide away. I also am obsessed with these gas pit burners that are integrated directly into the quartz countertop. They are so beautiful. and I just think that they're a really practical aspect of my kitchen as well because they're so easy to clean. Right below it is a mirrored oven that I think is so beautiful. One of my favorite aspects of the kitchen is my hot and cold water filter. I am a tea fanatic, so having hot water on hand is really important to me. I also love the chrome fixtures in this space. It's kind of unexpected and it adds a contemporary vibe. All of the appliances in this kitchen are panel ready, so the dishwasher is another beautiful feature that's hidden away. And I also have my microwave kind of tucked away up in this upper cabinet here. My spice cabinet is a great feature for me. I've got a whole knife drawer and accessories and spoons, and this corner is a really cool use of space because typically this would be an empty corner, but we have a dolly that comes out where I can put my pots and pans and bowls and tuck them away neatly. Another panel-ready appliance in my kitchen is my fridge, and I loved the idea of having a glass fridge, but I am a regular mom and I can't always have a super neat fridge, so I love the aspect of how the light turns on when you open the fridge, but when you close it, the light's off, so everything that's inside is hidden away. Prior to the renovation, this wall was actually closed up. There was a single man door here and a really small window here. So I thought it was really important to the space to open it up and put in this custom super tall door. I loved the idea of adding a breakfast banquette area. We have a formal dining room, but we actually spend most of our time eating at this table. I exposed the brick on this wall and I wanted to create a kind of antique looking effect, so I kept the plaster in certain areas and then it just exposed the brick here and painted it all white. And I put in a custom leather banquette that actually opens up for hidden storage, which is a great feature. And to finish off the space, we added a chrome pendant that matches the rest of the fixtures. And I love these vintage dining chairs with boucle seats that I added. Here is my principal bedroom. And because it is a tighter room in a semi-detached home, I wanted the space to still feel really open and bright and white, but I added warmth with textures and neutral organic colors and tones. To add an additional layer of warmth and texture and character, I added this wall paneling on the main wall of the space, and I love the little ornate cornices in the corner. They kind of add a traditional vibe to this space and to this wall that would normally be very blank and stark and white. I have linen track curtains that go all the way to the ceiling to make it feel more open and grand. This ensuite is my favorite place to be and spend time in my house. I took some space away from the bedroom because I wanted this room to feel really large and open for me. I really wanted a floating tub in the space, so I love how it just sits in the middle of the room, and I framed this whole wall with wall mirrors to open the space. There isn't a lot of wall space in this room, so I loved the idea of making a custom towel rack that actually hangs from the ceiling. The principal shower is just beautiful. I love the way that the herringbone marble tile goes up the middle of the wall and draws the eye upwards. I added a shower rain head coming from the ceiling as well to emphasize the spa-like feeling I wanted to create in the space. And a large niche is on this entire wall for functionality, practicality, because I know we all have lots of bottles of shampoos and soaps, and it's a feature that was really important to me. I knew that I wanted a really large vanity with lots of counter space to do hair and makeup, and just even I fold laundry on the space sometimes. And I knew that I wanted the vanity to kind of not be a main feature, so I chose a white quartz countertop, which is very practical, and white drawers as well. But then I added an antique sconce in the middle of the vanity and custom mirrors that again are super tall to draw the eye up and to create a larger space. When I first moved into this home, this entire floor was open, and I knew I kind of wanted to create separation of rooms for privacy and to create kind of like a warm and homier feel for the space. My bedroom is in the back, and then I wanted the bathroom to be the main focal point of this floor. And then when you enter into this room, I knew that I wanted kids eventually, so this would be the nursery. But one day when they grow up and they go upstairs, then this will be a large principal closet for me. This used to be Rocco's nursery, and I really wanted to create a different vibe in here. Rocco's room was very white and bright and bohemian, but I wanted to create a really whimsical feeling in this space for the new baby. And here's our official announcement. It is a baby boy. Because we are expecting another boy, I wanted the space to still feel really creative and organic, but I didn't want it to be too feminine. So this whimsical wallpaper is a vintage landscape, and then I wanted to emphasize the landscape with a mobile that is very organic, with natural branches and dried florals with organic colors. I chose a dark oil rubbed bronze crib in this space as well to create a more industrial, little bit of a more masculine touch to the space, with a matching vintage lamp. And I love this boucle chair that adds extra texture and warmth. And we topped it off with linen curtains that have a checkered brown pattern and also a linen pendant light. And I love how the tulip shape adds movement in the space. This bathroom is going to be shared by guests and also Rocco, as his room is next door. We live in a semi-detached home downtown Toronto, so the spaces can get really tight. But I wanted to make sure that it still feels very open and functional and practical. I chose clay-looking tiles for the walls. I chose unlacquered brass fixtures to create a timeless look that kind of aged with time as well. And the vanity was custom made. Instead of adding a glass enclosure, I added a custom linen track curtain so that we can make the best use of the space in here as possible. Because this is the guest bedroom, I wanted to create a spa-like experience in here for my guests. To do that, I kept with really neutral tones, but I created warmth and character by combining tons of different textures. So we've got linen duvet cover and sheets, we've got sheepskin that's on the bench, we have a brown boucle throw pillows. To top off the bed, I added a clay sconce, and then to frame the bed, there are 2 white oak nightstands to bring additional warmth. Adrian's office is this way, so let's see what he's up to. Oh, hi. How's it going? Good. This is Rocco's room. We took his original crib, and I wanted to create the same feeling from his original nursery, which is neutral, simple, but add a little bit more sophistication for him because it is his big boy room now. I added these hand-painted pictures above his crib, which I think he's obsessed with cars, so he really, really loves them. And I kind of surrounded the crib with 2 sconces that create more of a mature vibe as well. Here is Rocco's custom wardrobe and desk, which I'm really excited about. We needed lots of storage for him, so here is his closet, which he's never had this much storage space before. And I love the shelves for all of his toys. We've got antique blocks that were actually from my grandmother's house, and he loves playing with those. And tons of storage space for his books. And my favorite aspect of this entire unit is this adjustable desk. So as he grows, we can move the desk higher or lower if his little brother ends up coming in this room. And it is just the cutest thing, and I love it so much. Rocco loves all sports, so I knew that I wanted to add something in his room that just is fun for him to play with. So I got this antique basketball for him, and I stained this basketball net to match his desk, and he really loves playing with it.